Well, hello, all of my students. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Jay. Welcome to another English lesson here on the channel where I have the opportunity to help you with your English vocabulary, comprehension, and your English fluency. On today's lesson, I have a B-2 level English through story lesson. So if this is your first time on the channel, I prepare stories for you. I read them, I read and repeat, I let you shadow me, and I explain key vocabulary, words, and phrases. And I'm going to do that on today. Now, I am going to read through today's story. I am not going to read and repeat. If you would like some of those lessons, be sure to check out my playlist down in the description of today's lesson. But I guarantee you today's story is going to be fun and you will find a lot of learning opportunities in today's story. Be sure to hang around until the end. I have a few quiz questions for you that I hope you will participate and leave your answers in the comments section. With that being said, let's get ready for a little bit of learning and laughter. Let's dive into today's story. Nancy, a passionate traveler, had always struggled with managing her finances. Again, Nancy, a passionate traveler, had always struggled with managing her finances. So, a passionate traveler describes someone who enjoys traveling, whether that would be domestic or international travel. When a person flies or travels domestically, they travel within their country. International means they go to other countries, okay? They're international. And here we have Nancy. She enjoys traveling. But she has another trait. She's not doing a good job of managing her finances or her money. Notice the word that describes her is she struggles with managing her finance. She struggles. She's having a hard time. It's difficult. She may start, she may stop, she may not add her amounts up properly. She struggles. She may be a big spender when it comes to traveling. Finances is another word for dealing with money, okay? Business affairs, paying bills, saving money, investing. All of these terms have to do with finance. Let's find out more about Nancy. As she grew older, she realized the importance of saving money and set a goal to save $100 a week for 12 months. All right. As she grew older, so as she went from 25 to 26, 26 to 27, she got older. She realized the importance of saving money. She realized, she thought about something and she had the mindset that this is something I need to do. It's important. Something that is important. It's essential. It's significant. It's something that you must do. So drinking water is important. Knowing how to read is important. How to talk to people is important. Okay. It's something that's a necessity. Now, notice Nancy was not good at saving money. And so she set a goal, something that she wanted to achieve. That's what a goal is, something you desire to achieve. And her goal was $100 a week for 12 months. Okay. So there are 52 weeks in a year. So she wanted to save $5,200 in 1 year. Is that doable? $100 a week or $5,200 a year? I think that's doable. And some people may not be able to save $100 a week, but they can just save $400 a month, depending on how they get paid, even though it's the same amount. Everyone has different expenses and different levels of maturity when it comes to saving. But I always believe you got to start somewhere. Okay, let's find out what happened. Determined to succeed. Determined to succeed. Nancy made some sacrifices, such as giving up eating out, buying lattes, and going to the bar. So in order to come up with extra money, she decided to sacrifice or do without some things that she felt was important. Notice, determined to succeed, determined to succeed, determined to succeed. In other words, she wasn't going to allow anything to stop her. Okay. Notice sacrifice is described in this sentence as giving up something. Okay. Giving up something that you desire or you like or something that you need is a sacrifice. Okay. So going out to eat at restaurants, buying coffee or lattes, and going to the bar to get probably a beer or some wine. The journey towards financial discipline seemed promising, and Nancy felt proud of her progress. Again, the journey towards financial discipline. So when a person exemplifies or demonstrates self-control, that's discipline. Okay. You may say, Jay, you're bald and I have to have the discipline not to smack you. Okay. Self-control, discipline. Okay. So Nancy liked to travel and spend money on traveling. So it took her some discipline in order to meet her financial goals. Okay. Notice what she was doing seemed promising. Something seems promising. So it seems like it's going to happen. It looks or appears like it's going to manifest. Okay. That looks promising. Okay. I went for the job interview. I did so well. I felt that getting the job looked promising. Okay. She felt proud of her progress. However, one day, temptation knocked on her door in the form of a tempting offer, a 7-day cruise to Jamaica for $1,200. However, one day temptation. So she was saving money, but now a sale on a travel opportunity arose. And when a person is tempted, They are drawn away by something that they desire. So she was saving money, but this 7-day cruise offer to Jamaica was drawing her away from saving to spend her money. We all have been tempted. Goodness, I am tempted, seems like every day. But what is Nancy going to do? Isn't that how life is? Once you make up in your mind you're going to do something, something tempts you to do the very opposite. That's how life is. Let's see what Nancy does. Additionally, a trip to Miami for $2,500 further tested Nancy's willpower. The allure of the Caribbean paradise was irresistible. Okay. So additionally, so that simply means first there was the temptation to go to Jamaica, and in addition or added to that, now here's a trip to Miami. And it tested her willpower. Willpower has to do with a person's determination. Remember, she was determined to save money. Now she is determined or being tempted to spend money. Oh, the allure, which is another word for being tempted. Remember, tempted means to be drawn away by something that you like or desire. The allure. Her perfume was an allure to me to give her a hug and a kiss. Okay. It drew me in. All right. Finally, before she knew it, she had spent her hard-earned savings, poor Nancy, and found herself back at square one with $0 in her savings account. How many of us have ever saved up a good piece of money, all to be tempted to spend the money, and we failed the test, and we had to start all the way back at square zero or square one? Okay. Square one means back at the beginning. She found herself back at square one or at the beginning. Sometimes we say you have to go back to the drawing board, which means to go back to the beginning. Okay. Her hard-earned savings. So it took her some discipline. Remember, it took time. And that's how life is. Sometimes it can take you a long time to accomplish a goal, but then you can destroy it in one quick decision. Oh, Nancy has to start all over again. Okay, let's read that story through at a faster pace without stopping, and then we'll have a few quiz questions. Let's dive in. Nancy, a passionate traveler, had always struggled with managing her finances. As she grew older, she realized the importance of saving money and set a goal to save $100 a week for 12 months. Determined to succeed, Nancy made some sacrifices, such as giving up eating out, buying lattes, and going to the bar. The journey towards financial discipline seemed promising, and Nancy felt proud of her progress. However, one day temptation knocked on her door in the form of a tempting offer, a 7-day cruise to Jamaica for just $1,200. Additionally, a trip to Miami for $2,500 further tested Nancy's willpower. The allure of the Caribbean paradise was irresistible. Before she knew it, she had spent her hard-earned savings and found herself back at square one with $0 in her savings account. Okay, let's go over a few quiz questions and then we'll be done for today. How do you think Nancy's love for travel affected her ability to save money effectively. Number 2, what could Nancy have done differently to resist the temptation of the discounted cruise and trip to Miami? What could she have done? And how do you think her love for travel affected her ability to save money? And number 3, how do you think Nancy's experience of starting over at zero affected her motivation to save money in the future? So I want you to attempt to answer these questions down in the comments section. Poor Nancy. She's like so many people. And I've been there to where you save that money and then you spend it and have to start all over again. All right, that's going to do it for today's lesson. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson. Be sure to review it again to practice and to get a better understanding of some of those vocabulary words. And if today's lesson has been a strength to you, share it with a friend that's also trying to improve their English. I hope you join me on my next English lesson. I hope to see you then.